There is a stretch of road in the American Southwest that does not appear on most maps. Locals call it Hollow Mile. It cuts through nearly 40 miles of empty desert between the forgotten towns. No gas stations, no streetlights, no cell signal. Just cracked asphalt, rusted my markers, and a sky so wide it makes you feel small. Truckers avoid it. Locals warn their kids about it. And every year, people still disappear there. I didn't believe the stories. That was my first mistake. I was driving home alone after a night shift in Flagstaff. My GPS rerouted me due to construction, pushing me off the interstate and onto a road I didn't recognize. The sign was old, bent, and barely visible in my headlights. Hollow Mile no services, 39 am I? I hesitated for exactly 3 seconds. Then I drove forward. At first, it felt normal. The road was quiet, smooth enough, stretching endlessly ahead. The radio played softly, a late-night talk show discussing insomnia and loneliness. That's when I noticed something strange. The signal bars dropped to 0. Then the radio cut to static. I sighed, tapped the dashboard, and kept driving. 5 minutes later, the static changed. At first, it sounded like interference, whispers tangled in white noise. But as I turned the volume up, I realized it wasn't random. The whispers had rhythm, breathing, slow, uneven, close. I reached to turn the radio off, and it didn't shut down. The knob turned. The display went dark, but the sound kept playing. A voice emerged from the static, soft, hoarse. Help! I laughed nervously, convincing myself it was some prank broadcast or broken frequency. Then the voice said my name, not shouted, whispered, even. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I had never told my name to anyone on this road. I sped up. The desert around me felt wrong now, too quiet, too still. No insects, no wind. Even the stars seemed dimmer, like the sky itself was holding its breath. The radio crackled again. More voices joined the first. Men, women, children, all whispering, all overlapping. Stop. Please stop. You can hear us, right? A mile marker flashed past my headlights. Mile 13. That's when I saw them. Figures standing on the side of the road. Dozens of them. They didn't wave. They didn't move. They just stood there, faces pale, eyes hollow, mouth slightly open as if mid-sentence. I slammed the brakes. The car skidded to a stop. The engine stalled. The headlights flickered. The radio screamed. Every voice merged into one deafening plea. Stop the car. The silence that followed was worse. I sat frozen, heart pounding, breath shallow. The figures were closer now, drew close. They surrounded the car, standing inches from the windows. I forced myself to look. Their faces were ruined, sunken cheeks, skin stretched tight like it didn't belong to them anymore. Their eyes were cloudy, unfocused, yet somehow fixed directly on me. One of them leaned toward my window, a man in a torn flannel shirt. His mouth opened. No sound came out. Then the radio clicked back on, and his voice came through the speakers. We stopped you. Another voice followed. A woman. We heard the voices. A child's voice whispered next. We thought they needed help. The man smiled, and his teeth were broken. Now we're part of the road. The engine suddenly roared back to life. I didn't think. I floored it. The car surged forward, plowing through the figures. But there was no impact, no thump, no resistance. They vanished like smoke. In the rearview mirror, I saw them standing again, perfectly intact, watching me leave. The radio spoke one final sentence, not whispered. Clear, cold. You weren't supposed to stop. Then everything went silent. I didn't slow down until I saw lights in the distance. A gas station. A town. People. I pulled in, shaking, and stumbled out of the car. The attendant stared at me like he'd seen a ghost. "Where would you come from?" he asked. "Hollow Mile," I said. His face went pale. "You stop?" I swallowed. "Yes." He exhaled slowly. "Then you are lucky." "Lucky how?" He pointed at my car. The back bumper was covered in handprints, burned into the metal. Dozens of them. Different sizes. Different shapes. All facing inward. I never drove that road again. But sometimes, late at night, when the house is quiet and the radio in my kitchen picks up static, I hear breathing. And a voice that sounds exactly like mine whispers, "Stop. We need help."